Hello, everybody. This is Rick Mantei again, talking to you today about one of my favorite people, Mark Twain. He went by Samuel Langhorne Clemens. He was born November 1835, and he died in April of 1920. He went by the pen name Mark Twain. Of course, everybody knows him from The Adventures of Tom Sawyer and The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn. He was born, of course, in Missouri, and he was the sixth of 7 children, which was not unusual for that time. And he did a lot of traveling in the West. Now, I used to go to Reno, Nevada all the time. I went there for 40 years for the Reno Air Races. And, well, guess what? They ended last year. But there's a little town there called Virginia City. And I'd go to Virginia City. He worked in a publishing outfit there where they published stuff. And that's one of the reasons that he started writing, is he got there and he liked it. And but everywhere you go in Virginia City, you'll see Mark Twain. There's buildings on him. There's all kinds of streets. There's everything. And who would think Mark Twain is in right outside of Reno, Nevada? Who would think that? You see the same thing when you go to Switzerland. I go to Zermatt a lot, and he went there. I mean, and you got to imagine, my goodness, that was well over 150 years ago. How in the world did a guy get there from Missouri? I mean, that must have taken 3 or 4 months to get there, and the same thing to come back. But his footprint is everywhere he went. It's pretty large. And that's one of the reasons that I like to talk about him, because he's a hero of mine. It says he made a substantial amount of money through his writing, but he lost a great deal through investments. He invested mostly in new inventions and technology, particularly the typesetting machine. It was considered a mechanical marvel and amazed viewers when it worked, but it was prone to breakdowns. He spent $300,000, equivalent to $10 million today, on this. Before it could be perfected, it was rendered obsolete by the linotype. He lost the bulk of his book profits, as well as a substantial portion of his wife's inheritance. I bet that made him happy around her dinner table. He also lost money through his publishing house, which enjoyed initial success selling the memoirs of Ulysses S. Grant, but failed soon afterward, losing money on a biography of the Pope. Fewer than 200 copies were sold. So, the guy kept swinging the bat, but, he lost a lot. But he told everybody in 1909, he said, look, I was born in 1835. I came in with Halley's Comet in 1835. He says, it's coming again next year, and I expect to go out with it. It would be the greatest disappointment of my life if I didn't go out with Halley's Comet. The Almighty has said, no doubt, here are these two unaccountable freaks that come in together. They must go out together. His production was pretty accurate. He died of a heart attack in 1920, 1 month before the comet passed Earth that year. So that's pretty cool about him. Here's some things people don't know about Mark Twain. As a baby, he was never expected to survive. Mark Twain is not his real name. Of course, I told you that. He used to work as a miner. Nobody could believe that out in Utah. I'm out in Nevada when he was out there. It took him 7 years to finish The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn. He invented a board game. At one point, he had 19 cats. And when they asked him about that, he said if a man could be crossed with a cat, it would improve man, but it would deteriorate the cat. I don't go along with that way of thinking, but he sure did. And then he's one of the most misquoted writers in history. He predicted his own death almost to the day. He was a notoriously bad investor. He has no living descendants to this day. And with that, it says, personally, we find the saddest part of his list. His life certainly had its share of tragedies, including financial and health struggles and the death of his father when he was only 11. In 1870, he married Olivia Langdon, and the two had 4 children. One died as a toddler. Another 2 passed in their 20s. Olivia herself died in 1904, followed by her famous husband only 6 years later. The only surviving child, Clara, lived to the ripe age of 88 and passed away in 1962. She had only one child, Nina, who passed away shortly after her mother, childless and with no heirs to the family name. So then, by 1966, Samuel Langhorne Clemens, who the world will forever remember as Mark Twain, ended. And while his direct descendants might be gone, he will forever be survived by 2 fictional children that he fathered, Tom Sawyer and Huckleberry Finn. So until next time, you guys take care of yourself. Thanks.